Good afternoon, my woolly friends, and welcome to Always in Stitches and Bertie's year, a year in wool. And I can't believe we are working on September's block, because that means we're almost done, because that would leave us just 4 more blocks to do, and our quilt or our wall hangings will all be complete. But we're not going to be sad. We're just going to say, gosh, that was fun, and move on to the next project. So here on the design wall, you can see 8 months worth of blocks. And this one is September. And Bertie is conversing with a squirrel friend of hers. And I'm not sure if she gave him the acorn or he took the acorn. It could be since that she gave it to him, because she has an acorn cap for her hat, but the acorn does not have a cap. So she didn't need the net itself, so she gave the squirrel the net and she wore the cap. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. So this was fun. It was pretty straightforward. I had to really work to make sure he didn't look like a rat, because he kind of has that ratish head. But it was funny, I was out watching the squirrels in our yard one day, and I had one that was walking across the top of the swing set. And I looked at my husband and I said, you know, they kind of have a rat body to them. And he just looked at me and says, well, they are rodents. I went, yeah, but I just never really noticed that their back legs are bigger than their front legs, and I don't want to put a bad picture in your head about squirrels, but I had to make him not look like a rat. So I think he looks okay. But they're carrying on a nice little conversation. Maybe he's thanking Bertie for the nut that he can go hide for this winter. Have I dug my hole deep enough there? So the kit that you will be getting, it should be going out tomorrow, will look like this. You have your famous little cover page that says September on it. And then this is what will be in your bag. Now remember what we always tell you, be sure to look for all the little pieces. Deborah's worked really hard making sure she counts every single piece that goes into your kit so that she makes sure you have everything. Here's the beak. Here's the squirrel's tail, the squirrel's body. And underneath that, this is the acorn caps. This one's the acorn. Here are your leaves. Here's your branches. And you will feel like you're really squeezing these in, because I believe the long one has got like a little bend to it. But believe me, it does fit on this little piece of wool. There's Bertie's wing. And there's Bertie's body. And here's your cotton for your squares, and then your background. So that's everything that's coming in your kit. And I don't know if you're like me, but when I go to cut everything out, I'm a scrapbooker too. So that kind of creates an issue for myself, because you always have those little itty bitty pieces. And you go through, well, do I keep it? Do I throw it away? Is it big enough for anything? But I always maximize the space on my wool. So for his tail, it's a pretty big piece, because you only see half of it. There's the top, and then the bottom comes down in through here. So I always squeeze it over to the edge, because I may just have that much left in it. But that might be big enough for a hat or something. So I'm going to have a lot of little pieces of wool left. But that's okay, because they will get used. I have gotten some notifications that some people are having a little bit of trouble with them. Let me emphasize to you, please follow the directions in the book. I didn't the first time, and it created an issue. You're going to cut your main background piece here. You're going to cut that at a 9 by 13 piece. Cut that in the beginning. Then you're going to do all your applique pieces and all of your stitching. That's going to draw your fabric up just a little bit. So when you have all of this done, then you will cut that block down to 8.5 by 12.5 before you put your borders on. If you do that, then this border will fit, this border will fit, this one will fit, and that one will fit. So we all like to take shortcuts, and I did the first time, and I paid the price for it. So I learned to do exactly what it said. And Peter said, it looks like somebody sewed all their blocks together. Well, no, I did not. I had my sashing piece around it, and since I've decided not to make the individual wall hangings, I had to take those pieces off because for the quilt, there's another piece of sashing that's going to go on. So just disregard all my raggedy edges. They'll all be covered up and be beautiful when the quilt is all done. I wanted to show you, I was shocked and amazed and just totally blown away. Sheila she posted this picture of her blocks so far. Look at the applique in between the blocks. That is absolutely gorgeous. She took a little bit of the ideas from the flowers in the blocks and then put the flowers in between the blocks.
Dang, Sheila.
That is absolutely beautiful.
That's next level.
It is. She's taken it to that next level.
Dang.
So I'm very proud of you, Sheila.
I'm proud of you too, Sheila.
You went out of the box, you went out of the book, and you went rogue, and that's okay.
That's awesome.
Because I always tell you
Look at that flower pot, and it looks like it goes over the edges of the blocks.
It does. It goes into the borders.
Whoa.
And on the bottom row, the strawberry flowers, they fit right in between the triangles.
Jeez.
So she's put some thought into this.
Somebody's done wool applique before.
I think maybe.
Sheila.
Yeah. I mean, this is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm anxious to see it when it is completely finished. She may be a little bit behind us if she's going to finish appliquing like that through the whole thing. So I'm really excited to see what hers looks like. Mine, it's just going to look kind of plain, but that's okay. It's my project. And you do you. It's your project, so make it your personality. I tend to like things very simple and very, I want you to see these. And that's just me. It's when I do a quilt, I want you to see the piecing and not the quilting. So I do minimal quilting on my quilts. But we've got some exciting things coming up. I'm working on another wool series that will happen after this. Maybe two. I don't know if I can squeeze a second one in. But we'll be getting that out very soon to you. It'll be a smaller project than this, but I think it's really fun. The other one is another big project kind of like this. So I'm kind of trying to figure out, do I save the one for later? I might do that. Just let you guys get going on some smaller projects. But we're coming up into the winter months, the fall months where it's kind of chilly and the garden is not requiring all of your attention anymore, and cutting the grass and doing all that summer stuff. So you'll be wanting to work on your wool applique. So I hope that when all that comes out, that you'll be signing up for it and anticipating the kits that'll come. So keep working, persevere, don't give up. If you're running into troubles, email me, Nancy@alwaysinstitches, 1.com, and I'll be happy to talk you through it. If you're local, I'll sit down with you and we'll get it worked out. But I want you to enjoy this as much as I have. Oh, one thing on the squirrel. I was looking at, sometimes they will give you like little defining stitches. They had some on the squirrel that went up this way and up that way, and I put them in and I promptly took them out because they looked really weird. Now, maybe you can make them look right, but I sure couldn't. So he's okay. He does have joints. So Peter's showing you where maybe if I used a lighter gray that matched more in the wool, I would have been happier with it, but it looked really bad. So I went, "Nyeh, you look like you have some fat wrinkles, and I don't want to have a fat squirrel." So we just left him like it was. But, like I said, if you're having trouble, if you have questions, call in, stop in, put it on the video. We check those, and we're happy to answer all your questions because we want this to be fun, and we want to enjoy your investment that you have made, because this truly is an investment, and it's one that will last a long time. So keep on stitching, and we will look forward to seeing your projects on the website, on Facebook, wherever you want to post it, on Instagram, and we will see you next month. So happy stitching.